Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today I'm going to be going over what you should buy and what you should avoid this week in Grand Theft Auto Online, as well as what I recommend doing to make money this week, and pretty much everything in the weekly update. So we're going to go ahead and start off with how to make some money this week, because there are a few different things to do this week in particular that you couldn't do last week and that you won't be able to do next week. So the best way to earn money this week in Grand Theft Auto Online is through your auto shop. Now, if you don't have an auto shop, they are discounted this week, and as a result of the discount, auto shop contracts are on double money and double RP this week, so they're paying twice as much and they're giving out twice as much RP. Now, usually these will give around $160,000 to $180,000, so double that and double the RP, and that's how much money you're going to be getting. So you're going to be getting a pretty decent amount of money for completing these auto shop contracts. Now, these are not super hard. They can be a bit challenging. They can be a bit confusing. They do take a little bit of time to set up as well. Usually there's 1 or 2 setup missions and then there's the finale. And if you can manage to do it, you will get the payday. Now, there is one thing to keep in mind. If you have a friend when you're doing these auto shop contracts, they are not going to get as much money as you are. They're only going to get like $100,000, whereas you're going to get like $300,000-$400,000, which is not that bad, but it could be a little bit better. Let's just say that. Now, if you don't have enough money to buy an auto shop this week, there are some ways that you can earn money this week with double money and RP in order to get an auto shop, and I'm going to show you those right now. And they are, of course, through the menu. You're going to go into your job menu here, play job, Rockstar created. This week there's so many different ones that you can do. There's Carnage within the Arena War stuff. This is double money and double RP, so if you've never tried this, Arena War might be popular again for a few minutes, which is going to be kind of cool. Hot Bomb is also double money and double RP as well within Arena War. Every single deathmatch in Grand Theft Auto Online is also double money and double RP, except for Kart Crash. Kart Crash sucks anyways, so don't bother with it. But every other deathmatch is double money and double RP. So if you haven't done deathmatches, give them a shot. I mean, they're pretty good. So there you have it. We also have King of the Hill on double money and double RP. Now, I've only done a couple of these. They're not super fun, but they're not terrible either. So, you know, King of the Hill, double money, double RP, not too bad. And on top of this, we also have Land Grab on double money and double RP. Now, Land Grab, it can be kind of fun actually. This is a pretty good adversary mode. It's not my favorite, but it's not the worst either. I would definitely say that I recommend giving Land Grab a shot for sure. So that's pretty much it for how to earn money this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. Again, if you have an auto shop and you're in between doing contracts, of course you can do auto shop jobs, stuff like that to make some money. If you don't have enough money for an auto shop, do those jobs that I just showed you right there that are double money and double RP, as well as just get involved in, you know, Headhunter, whatever's going on in free mode. That stuff will help you save up enough money to get an auto shop while they're on discount this week. So speaking of discounts, it's time to look at what is discounted this week. So we're going to go ahead and go into the internet here, and we're going to start off on Maze Bank foreclosures. Obviously, auto shops, like I mentioned before, they are on sale this week for about 40% off, which is a pretty good discount. These things are, you know, they are pretty good to have. They offer some pretty unique things. A big tip with the auto shop as well is within the auto shop, you actually have every single thing unlocked. So if you're like level 20 and you want the turbo, or you want EMS upgrade level 4 for your engine, or a race transmission, any of that sort of stuff, you can get it in the auto shop. Regardless of level, it removes the level restriction from upgrading cars, which is really unique, and that in itself is kind of worth having, especially if you plan on racing in GTA and stuff like that. So you can save a lot of money with the auto shop as well, because the parts are slightly discounted as well. So there's a lot of good things with the auto shop. There's also the customer deliveries that you can do in the auto shop as well. And obviously you can make these things as unique as you want right now for a much lower price. So the auto shop, it truly is worth buying this week. If you don't have one, I'd recommend getting one, like a lot. It is a pretty great business, definitely one of the better ones in the game right now. And obviously, like I said, those auto shop contracts are double money and double RP, so give those a shot too. That's pretty much it for property discounts this week. That is literally, I believe that's the only thing on sale that's a property, which is kind of unfortunate. But we're going to go ahead and move on to Legendary Motorsport now. So for vehicle discounts, we're starting off on Legendary Motorsport, of course. To start off with, we have the Annis Euros and of course the Grotti Itali RSX on sale this week. The Annis Euros, not a very great car. Performance wise, just really, it's not going to win you any races in any sort of category. It doesn't matter if you're in the tuners category, it doesn't matter if you're in the sports category. It's not going to win you any races, and for $810,000 you can get better cars, I think. Customization wise, the Euros has quite a bit. Unique wise, you know, it is a pretty unique car. It's pretty great in a free mode sort of sense, but it doesn't offer you anything very unique. It doesn't have machine guns, it doesn't have armor, anything like that. So I would say just avoid the Euros this week. Honestly, it's really not worth your time probably. The Grotti Itali RSX is one of the fastest sports cars in the entire game. However, it's also one of the most expensive cars in the entire game as well, which is pretty unfortunate. It's a great looking car. It has lots of customization. It's fantastic, pretty much. It's just really expensive. So I mean, if you got $2.5 million to spend on a car, you know, now is the best time to buy the RSX that we'll probably get in, you know, any sort of time frame, you know, going forward. But I can't necessarily say I recommend picking it up because there are better sports cars for the money, like the Grotti Itali GTO, for example. It's not on sale this week, but it is a better car than the RSX. Now, there's going to be people that are going to argue with me about that, but the RSX is kind of a broken vehicle. Its downforce modifier does not work properly, which is very unfortunate, but it just doesn't work properly. So yeah, that's my opinion on the RSX. Great car, just maybe not worth the price. I'm not sure. But if you do want it, now is the best time to buy it. Scrolling a little bit further down on Legendary Motorsport here, under the two-door category, of course, we have the Vapid Click. Now, the Vapid Click is a former #1 fastest muscle car around a circuit in Grand Theft Auto Online. However, nowadays, it's probably about 3rd, maybe 4th in the muscle car category, being beaten by the Declasse Vigoro ZX, the Buffalo STX, and I believe the Dominator ASP is now faster than this thing technically. But the Click, it can hold its own. It's got insanely good handling in the muscle car category compared to a lot of other cars. The Click, it's just an absolutely, you know, insane vehicle. It doesn't have a lot of customization other than just racing. It's really not a great car to own. So in terms of racing, it's pretty good. In terms of anything else, it's not so good. I mean, it's a good looking car, but that's about it. And for 40% off, I think you can do better, honestly. Moving a little bit further down, we have the Vapid GB200 and the Karin 190Z. Now, the Vapid GB200, I love this car. Not that great, not particularly unique in any sort of way. Has a great exhaust sound, sounds absolutely incredible. It is all-wheel drive. It is supposed to be a rally car. It is good at rallying. Is it the best rally car? Probably not. But it is very cool. It has some customization. It's you know, it's pretty decent. It's not bad, but you could probably do better. The Karin 190Z is kind of in the same boat. You could do a lot better than it. It does have quite a bit of customization. It's not really the best car ever. However, it is 50% off. So if you do want a 190Z, now is probably the best time to ever buy it in the entire game. So if you want this thing, pick it up now. If you're not really super into older Japanese cars, the Karin 190Z is going to be one that you can completely forget about it. It's not that great of a car, unfortunately. So that's pretty much it for the 2 doors on Legendary Motorsport. Let's go into the 4 doors. We of course have the Obey Tailgater S as the only other 4-doored vehicle that is discounted, the only other vehicle on Legendary Motorsports that is discounted, and it's got a little bit of a discount on it. It's not that much. I think it's 30%. The Tailgater S, it's not going to win you any races. It is pretty good looking. It does have a lot of customization as well. It's a decent car for free mode, not a good car for racing. Overall, I'd say that I recommend it, and especially for this price, I mean, it's not a bad car to have. It's just not the best either, so just keep that in mind. It's not going to win you any races. You're not really going to make much money back off of it, but it is a good car. So that's it for Legendary Motorsport. It's time to move on to Southern San Andreas because nobody else has discounts for vehicles, which is very unfortunate, but Southern does have some good ones. For example, the Karin Sultan RS Classic is on sale this week. This is regarded as the best tuners DLC vehicle for tuners races within the LS car meet. Everybody says this thing is pretty much as good as it gets, is the best car for racing in that category. So if you want the best car for racing in the tuners category, it is on sale this week, and it is on sale pretty heavily. I think it's 40% off, which is a pretty good discount. So pick this thing up if you guys are interested. It is a solid car, that's for sure. I like it a lot. It's got good customization as well, sounds great. Overall, really good car. The Karen Futo GTX is also on sale this week. Don't like that car at all. I have nothing good to say about this, but if you like Initial D or any anime sort of things, whatever this thing's from, I think it's from Initial D is where it got really popular. If you like that, pick it up. If you want a good car, don't get the Futo GTX. The Dinka RT3000 is also on sale. This is actually a pretty solid car. It's not bad, again, from the Tuners DLC. Not going to win you any races, but it does have a lot of customization. It is pretty cool looking. It's based off the Honda S2000. Overall, pretty solid vehicle. So that's it for vehicle discounts, guys. That's literally all the discounts we have. It's time to go ahead and head over to the dealerships and show you guys what you can buy this week in the dealerships. So starting off at the Luxury Motors dealership, we of course have the EST Jubilee available to be purchased in here. It's got a really ugly look to it. Kind of cool at the same time, but pretty ugly. So you can get that right now, and of course you can get the Grotti Italia RSX. This is a pretty cool livery, and I do believe this is unique to this car as well, in the luxury auto showroom. So if you guys are interested, this is the one that I would get. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's got that unique livery. I think it looks great, honestly. So if you guys are getting an RSX, this is where I'd recommend getting it from. And of course, at Simeon's dealership, we do have some other cars on discount this week that are pretty good. Starting off, we have the Bravado Gauntlet Classic. Now, the Gauntlet Classic, awesome car. Love this thing. It is really special. Really good car. I recommend picking this thing up for sure. We also have the Imponte Phoenix, which is usually only thievable off of the street. You can purchase this thing right now, so if you guys want a Phoenix and you've been looking, now is the time to get one. Next up, of course, we have the Annis Euros. You guys already heard me talk about it. I'm not going to say anything more. Right here, we have the Karen Previon with a unique livery on it, I do believe. Now, the Previon is actually a solid car. It is the #1 fastest coupe, I believe it is, in the entire game around a circuit. So if you guys are interested in that, I mean, obviously pick up the Previon. But if you want a car for free mode, I can't say I would necessarily recommend the Previon, but it is a pretty solid car for racing. And of course, next up we have the Declassi Vamos, which the Vamos is just not that great. It has advanced handling flags, so when you start going faster in it, it just completely like lifts off the ground almost. Feels like there's a lot of air under the car and you kind of don't have much control, which is pretty unfortunate. So cool car, but not really worth owning, unfortunately. And of course, coming to the casino, we of course have to go over the podium vehicle and the prize ride within the LS car meet, so we'll head there in a second. The podium vehicle within the casino is of course the Coil Cyclone. Now the Coil Cyclone is all electric. It is a supercar. It is very quick. Is it the best car ever? Absolutely not, but it is pretty damn good. It's very quick in a straight line, has okay handling, and a pretty piss weak top speed because it's electric, obviously. But definitely not the worst car, but definitely not the best either. Would I recommend trying to win it on the podium? 100% for sure. If you don't win it though, don't be too pressed, but if you do win it, you know, you got something to be happy about, so definitely try to win this thing for sure. And the prize ride within the LS car meet is of course the Vapid Flash GT. Now the Vapid Flash GT, not the greatest car ever, not my favorite car ever. I do, you know, not mind it, but it doesn't have much customization. It's not very quick. It does have engine resistance. It's just not exactly super ideal. And in order to win this thing, it's not a very hard challenge. You're gonna have to place top 3 for 3 days in a row in the Pursuit series within the LS car meet. So, you know, not that hard to win it. Just not the best car either though, so I'm not sure that it's necessarily worth it, but if you guys really want to try, you might as well go for it and you can get yourself a free car. Next up, for the test track vehicles, we of course have the Futo GTX, don't bother. The Obey Tailgater S, this is something you could test out and you could decide if you want to buy it or not. It's a pretty solid car. And of course we have the Vapid GB200, again, another one you should test before you buy the car. You should probably test the Futo GTX just so you know what I'm talking about too if you're planning on buying it. It's just not a very good car. And for those of you wondering, your time trials this week are of course Cypress Flats for the RC Bandito, which is right here. We have the Observatory time trial, regular. And of course, for those of you on the expanded and enhanced edition, your HSW time trial is right around here. That's pretty much it for what to buy and what to avoid this week in Grand Theft Auto Online, guys. If you found this video useful, if you found it helpful, a like is of course appreciated. If not, dislike. Subscribe if you guys are new. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.